Good morning, y'all. I'm really excited about what has transpired so far with the chicken yard. And I thought I would do something a little bit longer than the short and just give you a better explanation. The chickens have been scratching around over here underneath where Gimpy's little house used to sit. I'm sure they're finding plenty of bugs and whatever. What you guys want? Say. There's Chuck, the chicken duck. He's such a beauty. Oh my goodness. I am going to have to put some chicken wire up above that. I'm just going to use like 2 foot, but a neighbor of mine who has been in the chicken business much longer than I have. Of course, we don't do anything with our chickens. We just eat their eggs. But he said chickens can easily fly over a 5 foot fence, so it needs to be up about 6 feet. And that's okay. I don't want it any higher than this because I like to be able to look over it and see what's going on out here. Of course, I can't see too much, but with my little opening down here. Now listen, don't you start acting like your daddy. He acted as though he was just going to be a little intimidating. Look at this speckled mama. Isn't she beautiful? Increase it just a little bit. She is such a beauty. Yes. But anyway, Hugh cut it down for me. So I've got this opening right now, and it does let me see about half of the pond, and that's good. I guess I should go and turn the water off. I still have the water running where I changed their water. Look at the ducks. I like to actually leave them for just a little while to play in it because they love playing in the flowing water. Yes, they do. And I wanted to just clear up a couple of things. Someone had mentioned the other day on the pond, and I don't know if any of you read it. It was quite a lengthy comment, and it was from someone that I didn't know. And honestly, this is where y'all find out that I'm not always a nice person. Is someone that I found I didn't care for, so I actually blocked them from my site because they were making comments that were unnecessary and unkind, just critical. And I don't think they knew what they were talking about, because they were talking about the cattle's poo flowing into the pond, which it doesn't. It's on the lower end, and anything there that flows anywhere, unfortunately, flows down into the stream and then goes on downriver, where, as it goes through the stream, through all the rocks and everything that it goes through, it's a natural filtration system. We only have 8 cows altogether, and that's including the 3 babies. So we don't pose a real environmental hazard here. But no, there is absolutely no cow poo flowing into this very muddy pond. There's just mud. Speaking of which, I'm going to go up and turn off the water while we're chatting. But so we got Gimpy's little chicken coop moved. Gimpy is the only guinea we have left. The other guineas were unfortunately grabbed by predators, and that's one of the reasons I want to just totally enclose this chicken yard with the wooden fence like that, because the predators just snap through the chicken wire. They just come through in any place. We have the hard fence, the cattle fence, all the way around, and then the chicken wire on top of that. It does not do an adequate job. But she's not in it yet, but I've seen chickens in there, and I expect that before long we'll be finding chicken eggs in there. So yeah, they like that. Oh, let me go turn the water off. I keep forgetting that. and then we'll come back and chat for a bit. But that gave her just a little bit of a spot to feel somewhat protected when she's outside. Gimpy is actually just a very, very timid bird. And I've never really dealt with guineas before. Aaron tells me that's typical, that's just the nature of a guinea, that they are just very, very nervous. So, yeah. And as you can see, I still didn't get my wood mess over here cleaned up. That's because we did get the saw out of there. That's because we've been working down here in the duck yard, the geese yard, the chicken yard. All right, move, guys. I gotta come in. Move. 3 of my doggies are still outside. They like being outside to play. This is Kaiser. Kaiser, look at me, baby. There you are. Good boy. This is Bela. He loves chewing his sticks. This is Noble. Yeah, they're all very good babies. Watch out. Let me go turn the water off. The other 3... No. Kai, stop. The other 3 wanted to be inside. These guys wanted to be outside because it's such a pretty day. It really, really is. I am out here in short sleeves. See? And still almost just too warm. So I'll be surprised when I go in and check the temperature if it isn't at least getting close to 70 degrees. Here's my buckets that I just fed the chickens in and gave them their vitamin supplement in their water and the ferment. And I'm still putting the ferment over in my compost bins. And I suspect that it's really going to pay dividends. There should be no reason that doesn't enrich the compost piles. But anyway. All right. Let's walk back down here for a minute. But yeah, if any of you read the comments from this lady, I'm not saying she didn't have a right to. It sounded like she might have known something about taking care of ponds. She was making all kinds of suggestions about aeration and the different types of plants and all, and I don't mind that. But it was when she started being critical about things that she really does not know and couldn't know because she's not here on site to see the lay of the land and all of those sorts of things, that I thought, this channel is about being encouraging one another. And I don't want to have to spend my time trying to correct people's misconceptions, especially when when their comments were very arrogant and to me just critical. So I don't know, girls and the few guys that are on here, I'm not interested in this channel becoming huge. I'm not, because I love chatting with those of you that enjoy what we're doing here on this little farm and enjoy chatting with each other. And hey baby, hi mama. Go swim in the mud puddle. And I'm not interested in it becoming about me trying to teach about farming or making a pond or anything, because we don't know what we're doing. We do know a little bit about farming. My husband grew up farming. Look at this daddy coming here. He's a beauty. But it's not a teaching channel. It's just an encouragement channel. And when someone comes on that they don't understand that and that's not what they're interested in doing, then I'm just going to block them from being part of it. They can find something else that suits their needs a little better. So, yes, I've told you before that I'm not always nice. So now you know. And I'm sure that this whole thing was just kind of hard to hear, because when I do increase the size, I think there's mamas in there. I don't want to open it up and scare them. Hugh said that there's about 8 eggs in there, chicken and duck. But so anyway, I just keep wanting to enjoy life. Keep wanting to find things that are just fun to do, and people that enjoy doing them with us. And here's Gimpy's little place, or little hidey hole. Nobody's in there right now. I gotta bring my wheelbarrow over here and clean up all the little wood pile underneath. But wanted to mention once again the plan. You can see my geese over there. It's the only time they're quiet. It's when they're napping. Let me increase the size a little bit so you can see them. They really are beautiful, beautiful birds. There we have one duck over there on that side taking a nap. I love my feathery ones. And I am always learning. And people that send me information that's just something that they're familiar with, and because they have a love for my feathers and, you know, want them to have the best pond possible, I don't resent that. I don't. As long as it's not obnoxious. Because we are learning. There's a lot we have to do, but we cannot. We absolutely cannot spend, and this is one of the things she said, is it will cost you less than $2,000 and you can take it off of your taxes and blah, blah, blah. No, we can't take it off of our taxes because we don't claim the feathery ones on our taxes. There's no benefit. There's no financial benefit from our chickens or our ducks. Every now and then I will trade out some duck eggs with our dog sitter when she needs to help us out with either a bath for one of our critters, or she needs to come and check on them if we're gone for the day. And so it's we just trade out a little bit on that. It's very, very minimal, but we don't make any money on these guys. They're just totally a financial drain. But they are my little court jesters. There is absolutely nothing, I don't think, on this planet that makes me laugh more than the antics of the geese and the ducks and the chickens, because they are so funny, and the peacock. He's beautiful, and he's so very gentle. Chelsea was commenting on him yesterday. She says, Mom, I've never seen a big bird like him he just gets along with everything. He just walks around and never challenges anybody. He is a very, very sweet, sweet bird. But now that all of these things are moved, let me show you a little bit more what the final layout will be. And yes, it's going to take me, because we're right now ready to start seed. I'm ready to start gardening, so that's going to take quite a bit of time. It's supposed to rain for the next couple of days, and Hugh and I are going to be working in the basement on my grow room. You know, it's funny when you tell people you're building a grow room, they say, oh, and what are you growing in it? That's pretty funny. But anyway, my grow room will be downstairs, and so we've got walls to build and insulation to put in and shelving to build, and I need to be starting plants by the end of February. And so hopefully these next couple days will get us a long way toward, where are you going, sister? There you go. Trying to move slowly. One of you suggested that I was just moving it too fast, and I do understand that. I do. I don't want to make anybody seasick, so I will move it slowly. But do you hear the mama chicken? There's so many of them that go over into the old tobacco barn, and they lay their eggs in the hay. So we're probably only collecting about half of the eggs that are actually being laid. But when we get the bird yard completely closed in, that shouldn't be a problem again. So starting from the corner right here, we'll be going straight down to where this little pile of sawdust is at. And then I'm going to make kind of a half moon. It'll be far enough away from these buildings, a long way away from these buildings, because I do not want to give any of the feathery ones an opportunity to jump up on top and to jump over the fence. So we're going to stay a long way away from them, probably about where I'm walking, so you can see the distance from the back of the building all the way over here and down the edge of this little road that goes to the gate. Hey duckies, I won't bother you, baby. I don't want to scare you. And then it will round over to that metal fence post right there, because I want to leave the water tank and everything completely on the outside of the fence. And it will follow that fence across the land bridge, and then you can see how it kind of juts back to that corner right there, and up and over and along the back of the other dog lot. And that's going to be the bird lot. And as you can see, it's going to be fairly good size. Now all along the inside, not completely, because I don't have that big of a need, but all along, especially the back side of the dog lot, I'll be putting in 4x8 little beds that will be, the top of them will be covered with hardware cloth, and they'll be hinged so that the lid will be hinged so that I can lift it and attach it to the back of the dog lot to leave it completely totally open if I should want to, and let the chickens scratch in it. But that way I can sow different types of seed that they like, and let them, they can eat the greens, especially during the winter. I can grow some winter hardy grains and let them eat what comes up through the hardware cloth. And then when I want to open it up and let them actually scratch in it, I can open the lid and attach it to the back of the fence and let them dig and peck and all that sort of thing. And I'm going to leave about a foot between each one, at least a foot, maybe two, where I can plant sunflower seeds and elderberries. And of course the elderberries will be a permanent thing, but the sunflower seeds will grow. And as they head out, I can just take those and push them over into the chicken lot and let them just take care of pulling the seed out for themselves. The elderberry, actually, I may end up just planting those around the bird houses themselves, because there's no shade in here, and I want to plant some shade in here. I may plant a weeping willow right along here somewhere, and I've read that lilac is good for chickens, that if they do eat the flowers off of them, that it's actually beneficial. There goes your mama into the little shelter, because it's an anti-parasitic, I think. I'm not positive. You'll have to read. Don't trust me on that. But anyway, I think that's what I read. But also, other things like, let me see, the elderberry is good for them. Grapes, gourds, let me see, cucumbers. There's a number of different vegetable plants that are, seasonal. They're annuals, they're not perennials, but I'll use some of those around their little houses as well, because the leaves are so nice and broad that it will offer them a good deal of protection from the sun. And if any of our mamas actually raise a brood of chicks, she's going to need places to kind of scoot them to a little protected area. So I'm hoping to have just little spaces all over this bird yard for them to scoot their babies under should there be an aerial attack. And we do have eagles, and we have hawks, and we have owls, and we have other predators that there's no way that I can protect them from. I can protect them from ground predators. Hush, Kaiser, with the wooden fence. But I can't protect them in this big of a space. I can't protect them from an aerial attack. So I'm thinking also that we still haven't planted our Christmas tree because we just haven't found a spot for it. But pine trees are good for them. So I'm thinking a pine tree about right there where that food bowl's at. And it will be, and right here's where the other chicken house, the other chicken coop's going to go. But it will be small for years. They don't grow that fast. But I'll just keep the bottom limbs trimmed off a little bit if I want to, or not. They'll get up in it. They'll play in it. They'll roost in it. They'll do all sorts of things in it. But that's good. That's good. So that's probably where the pine tree is going to go. And then on the outside of this great big bird area will be my propagation boxes for my nursery. I'm going to build it all the way around the outside as I need it. A lot of the plants that you put in a propagation, you'll leave in for at least a year, sometimes 2 years. But and they're supposed to be on a north-facing wall, which they won't be. But I think that I will be able to have an extra screen of like a shade cloth that when the sun is full on them, or when it would be full on them, I can come and close that shade cloth down and just leave the shade cloth open when it's a cloudy day, or when the sun is behind the mountain or not quite up over the mountain, or whatever I need to do to adjust to keep the plants that are in the boxes from getting burned. But I think that I would have more room just along the outside edge of this bird yard to grow plants. I could probably grow enough plants to plant the North 40 and then some. And that's a whole lot of boxes. I'm sure I'll never get that many or have a need of that many. But it's all fun to think about. And it comes along a little at a time. And a little at a time is good. Hugh and I will be 63 and 64 this summer. We're trying to get everything set up in such a way that nothing will really be ever too taxing for us to take care of. I'm certain that Aaron's going to move back at some point. I don't want him to hurry that. I want him to learn all that he can from these master woodworkers he has access to right now. And when he decides to move back, he'll be building himself a little place to live right here on the property somewhere. And it will be nice having him back home. But I don't know how long in the future. So Hugh and I need to make sure that we're preparing in such a way that we can do what we need to without extra help. So nobody worry about us. We're not old. We're just getting there. This is my nemesis. He's my frenemy. I have to keep an eye on him when I'm out here because sometimes he stalks me. And he hasn't attacked me since that one day that I had to get a little rough with him. And I usually carry something in my hand because that makes me a little bit more intimidating, but all I have right now is my camera. So he's getting a little closer and closer. I don't think he's going to bother me. But anyway, all right, my friends. Today was just kind of a long-winded and me just kind of getting a bit of irritation off my chest. I hope that you don't mind. Sometimes I think that's kind of what friends are for. We can gripe to each other when we need to. And it's actually an encouragement to know that people understand. But look at him. Is he not a beautiful bird? And I have my camera all the way down to the natural distance. So you can see how close he's getting. He's trying to be intimidating. He is a turd, that one. But I love him still, even if he is a turd. Just have to make sure he understands his place in this whole setup. He's being rude. He's the one that gets fed, not the one that feeds. There's a hierarchy here, and he's not at the top of it. Do you hear me, George? Do you hear me? Watch him. If I bend down and tuck at him. No, I guess he's going to leave me alone. I figured he'd kind of try to surge, but he didn't. That's a beautiful bird. All right, y'all. I love you. You see all those clouds banking up over there? We're supposed to have, like I said earlier, a rainy weekend. So I need to go over here and try to get this area cleaned up that I had planned on cleaning up a couple days ago. All right. Everything gets done, just not on my time schedule. But that's okay. I love y'all. Bye-bye.